TikTok's got an information problem. Desk Diesel here, and while I'm hard working on my next greatest hit, I decided to go perusing TikTok. For those of you that don't know, I have a TikTok now. I talked more about this over on Patreon, which is a great way to plug both of those things. If you want the TLDR, it's basically that TikTok incentivizes false information sharing, fake news sharing, and disinfo sharing. And I'm going to get into some of that now while not talking about the things that are actually serious. So, for those of you that don't know, I make film TikToks, but I'll probably stop because, like a million people are doing that thing. But I noticed some disturbing trends as I peruse TikTok. Because I didn't peruse it in the same way like somebody passively consuming content would, I actively watched it with the intent of figuring out what works, what doesn't, in order to turn that into Diesel related content. If you're curious, that's not fun, but I should also follow up with, there was a lot of film TikTok accounts that were all teaching things just like me. Some of them were giving facts about movies, and then that's when I came across this TikTok about John Wick.
Did you know, in John Wick Chapter 3, made in 2019, John and an enemy fall into a pool, and John immediately moves roughly 3 feet away before being fired upon. At this distance, the bullets are rendered ineffective, which is consistent with how a typical pistol works underwater.
Now, I am both American, a person who has used and owns a gun, and also I make movie. I do that. I make big American movie. I do those things. Now, there's also a Mythbusters episode on all of this stuff, but I'm just going to ask the question that everybody's asking from this TikTok. Where the fuck he come up with the number from? And I understand this seems very, out of left field, but just pay attention for a little bit longer and it'll all make sense. In the Mythbusters episode that covered this exact thing, right, there's something like you need to be a minimum of 8 feet deep to survive if you're being shot at from above the water, or if you're in the water, you can shoot a gun, right? But you basically get one shot out before, the gun doesn't work.
Resetting the ransom rest, I found the shell casing caught in the slide.
It didn't eject the bullet.
No, because it relies on the pressure.
Right, and you have that water on top of it.
So
if you're shooting underwater, you only have one shot to kill the bad guy.
Yep. You better get it right.
In the movie, there's a fight scene where the bullets do drop off, similar to what happened in the Mythbusters episode, but it's not accurate to real life. And we could even assume that this fight scene is happening at a distance between the two characters of 3 feet apart, but you know what? That doesn't really matter. I'm not sure where the distance or any of the information in this video comes from. The best I can find out is that he aped it from a Reddit post. Don't get me wrong, the John Wick series is full of incredibly deep and rich details, and that's part of what makes those movies so absolutely amazing. But a lot of the stuff I've seen from film TikTok is exactly the kind of stuff that is a problem. It's not even like this thing with John Wick is a happy accident. It's filmmaking. It's just them making a movie. Part of convincing people and getting them engaged in a story is convincing them that the world that they're in is real. So it's very important that something like that happens in John Wick, so those that enjoy action movies will not look at the pool scene and go, this isn't realistic, John Wick could never happen, right? So it's to maintain that suspension of disbelief. Now, that TikTok is pretty much an innocuous, fast pop fact about a movie, right? So there's not really a huge issue or problem with that. This guy is basically the Watch Mojo of every single film and video game thing on TikTok. He runs 6 TikTok accounts and just pumps these things out all fucking day. So, a lot of it is him just stealing stuff from Reddit or other listicles or just, watching old Watch Mojo content and then piecemealing it out in the form of TikToks. How do I know that's what he's doing? Well, first of all, there's no way he's an absolute fount of knowledge for movies. Some of the facts I know, they're very surface level because they're articles I've read in the past. But the thing is, this is a very innocuous TikTok, but it's really representative of a much larger misinformation problem that is very rampant on the platform. Guys, TikTok is swimming with bad information, and I know that's like a no-duh Diesel, but it really is super bad, way worse than YouTube. Honestly, YouTube has sandboxed most of the bad actors, but TikTok, some of the most heinous and horrific opinions that would never be allowed on YouTube, fair game on TikTok. I could literally go from one person in my For You page was a MGTOW red pill guy, he was spewing black pill stuff, okay? And he was in my For You page. Don't know why. Never engaged with that content before. And then I scroll down one more, and it's like a 16-year-old girl dancing while holding a bunch of, you know, communism things in her hands, because she's experienced that, I'm sure. Like, literally, I have never seen such a variety of virulent and awful opinions and political spectrum since, like, Twitter 2016. It's that bad. Like, literally everything is fair game on TikTok, and you know what? I'm gonna be that guy. I don't think it's fair because I can't just say whatever the hell I want on YouTube. I'm joking, of course, but you know, many TikTokers don't even disclose that their videos are actually ads.
Did you know, in Demolition Man, made in 1993, the Taco Bell logo, which you can see right there, was replaced with the Pizza Hut logo for the European version of the movie, as Taco Bell was virtually unknown in Europe in the early 90s. So this is the American version, and if we download VPN by clicking the link in my bio and change the location to Europe, we can see that it's now switched to Pizza Hut.
Is this how you guys feel? Is this what it feels like to, like, watch something and then you're like, ah, no, not Genghis game legends, you know? At least a YouTuber warns you. At least you gotta put the thing there. You know, you're gonna see it on mobile, you're gonna see it on PC. At least it's there. On TikTok, they just put a hashtag in their, like, 150 word long, like, description. Then I don't see it. I'm just like, ah, man, I got tricked into watching an ad. I don't like that, personally. It's just very odd. You know, TikTok has a very interesting way with policy, and you know, I wonder why they have all these strange ways that they go about their rule handling. I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody who's involved with that. Okay, but enough of a detour right there, right? TikTok is short form content. Basically, if you have any news that you're giving to people through TikTok, it's basically just gonna be a headline. There's no room for any specificity, any breaking down the subject, any getting any deeper. You can't. It's physically impossible. And I mean, you know, listen, I'm a Zoomer, but like I watch some of this stuff that other Zoomers are putting out, and I'm just like, what are you smoking, man? What is going on here? Did I lose my mind somewhere along the way? Is everybody else crazy? Like, I understand TikTok represents such a small sliver of anybody's experience with the outside world, or anybody in general. So I don't want to say it's everybody or anybody for that matter, but you know, there's no way that I can't like just skim through some of these TikToks and think that, are we all unhinged lunatics? Because that's what it reads like. Like, I get it. It's a funny meme when the goth girl dances to, you know, some pop song, and there's just text that explains a CIA psyop, and it's like, yeah, maybe you can walk away accepting if that's true or not, but at least do the due diligence to check yourself. And the only reason I'm using that as an example is because that's a TikTok I actually experienced. And you know, to further this issue, let me talk about all TikTok content that is not either personality based or looks driven. TikToks that basically teach anything or explain any fact have been used routinely in YouTube videos to explain why they're either not that thing, or it's not like that, or just how it's wrong in general. I mean, let's look at the cooking TikToks, for example. Probably my favorite example of somebody debunking these things is How to Cook That, which if you haven't seen that channel, it's a good channel. You should definitely watch it if you're like into cooking stuff. But Ann Reardon really shows how some of these TikToks make great viral videos, but show how bad of a recipe they actually are. And there's a couple of reasons why videos end up like that. Think about it. When you have advanced recipes that you're cooking and showing off on TikTok, you can't possibly include all the steps and information needed to accurately relay the complexity of that recipe. What does this cause? Well, it means that sometimes ingredients get swapped, it means that some things change, and as a result, you make a TikTok that is either going to make somebody produce disgusting food, or, you know, it's a fire hazard, you know, pick one. Like, if a TikTok about cooking actually drops the ball so bad that somebody can make money off of how bad the ball was dropped, imagine how bad the ball is being dropped in other genres on TikTok. The way the TikTok algorithm is designed is basically to always show you new, original, and novel content. For example, if you stop engaging with content on TikTok for like 2 to 3 TikToks, and this is just from my own personal testing and my own notes, so it might not actually be this accurate, but I'm just going off of what I experienced, right? But, you know, I clicked off of watching film talks for like 3 TikToks, and then I got nothing but hurricane-related TikToks in New York City from the great New York City flood, for those of you that were around for that. And then when I stopped engaging with those, that's when I got those political TikToks that I just explained to you. I had never engaged with any of this content before. It was just novel and different. And then I clicked off of those again, and what happened after that? I get gaming content related to Call of Duty and stuff like that. And I don't play Call of Duty, haven't played Call of Duty in like 4 or 5 games. You know, what was interesting about this, and this is a little aside, is that the TikToks from this Call of Duty TikToker also included him airing his dirty laundry about his girlfriend breaking up with him because she cheated on him with 3 other guys over the internet. So I have those images saved on my phone now, and yeah, it went places, that's for sure. I don't, you know, it's a story in 3 images, really. It's quite beautiful. Like, TikTok works differently, and 1 million views on TikTok is like worth not that much in the grand scheme of things with how TikTok doles out its views and its engagement and stuff like that. But if we have some ridiculously garbage TikTok that shows deliberately false information, or information that, you know, the internet has been reeling back and forth over whether or not people are allowed to share that kind of information, but, you know, it's free game on TikTok. We're talking about like 1 million people might have had their eyes on something absolutely insane. You know, it's like, if we're talking about a guy who's like some black-pilled incel, okay, fine. Can he say that on TikTok? Can he do those things on TikTok? Yeah, I would say he could. But then, do we also want like 1 million 14-year-old boys who constantly feel dejected to all understand and hear that content? I don't know about that. You know, and that could mean, you know, they swiped up the second they saw the guy show up, but the point is that it was still there. And this goes for any extreme political ideology or disinformation by a government entity, which, by the way, they are on TikTok and they are actually paying people to produce content in favor of certain governments, which I really love this Mr. Robot cyberpunk dystopian universe that we live in, because it is absolutely insane and it's impossible to tell who is where and what they're being paid by. I mean, I've been working under the thumb of the CIA for the last 20 years. I'll tell you, taking out that Jeffrey Epstein guy, really hard. You know, thank God it was Bill Clinton who paid me. I don't think I would have done it if it was anybody else. No, but seriously, internet, this is an actual issue. And TikTok is absolutely the worst. I honestly don't know how the conversation hasn't moved towards TikTok and that it's constantly on YouTube and Twitter. Like, yeah, there's problems with YouTube. It's nowhere near as bad as TikTok. And Twitter, I mean, yeah, I don't even go on Twitter anymore because it makes me sad. Speaking of things that make me sad, you want to know where all those prank channels went? You know, the ones that were endangering themselves and the lives of others? Well, they moved to TikTok.
What's up, my boy? What are you doing? Chilling? Can I chill with you? No? Hey, the way you're standing over here looks like you're trying to get popped or what? Pop, bro. What you mean, nigga? Hey, bro, chill out. The soda right here, bro. Look, I'm talking about the pop soda, bro. Pop soda, bro. You look, you're on camera. What are you talking about, bro?
Listen, guys, I don't need to tell you why what he just did is absolutely stupid and why you shouldn't do it, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that he is not a very bright man and he obviously needs somebody to explain to him why that's a dumb idea. Needless to say, please don't go into the hood and start saying that you're going to blast somebody or do anything or bust a cap in anybody's ass. In fact, don't say it in a suburban neighborhood. Don't say it to your friends. Don't say it to your family. Don't say it to anybody, because guess what? Somebody will take advantage of that and then you'll go to jail. Honestly, this guy is so bad. This is literally his entire channel on TikTok. He just constantly produces content like this. So, hey, you know, maybe he deserves his own video because it is dangerous and stupid, and don't do that. You're gonna get someone hurt or hurt yourself. And part of this video was inspired by what Critical was talking about lately with all of these TikToks just becoming a fad of like faking mental illness, which is really like a sub-issue of this like fake and disinfo issue. I mean, based off of TikTok, we would assume that about 50% of Gen Z has DID, which, I mean, is statistically very unlikely. And considering that some of them say that they have about 100 people that all exist in one system, I would say that they are very wrong. But hey, you know, maybe I just don't understand. You know, I'm not somewhere between 16 and 30 years old and have, you know, the personality traits of being a Steven Universe enjoyer. And then all of a sudden they just discover that, oh, Just being a Steven Universe enjoyer isn't a personality, so I am going to physically say that I am manifesting myself as Pearl. I think it goes without saying that this is an issue as well. I don't. First of all, it is not how any of these mental illnesses are actually portrayed or how they're actually like. I mean, literally, it only takes one Google search to get copious amounts of information from clinical professionals in the field that are constantly working on these things and developing further research about the human mind. But no, let's go to the 16-year-old on TikTok. Point is, all of this is an issue. I could, really hot take there, right, Diesel? It's strange. It's like a weird cringe throwback to like 2016 if you go and you watch like faking mental disorders TikTok compilations, because there's enough that people can sustain channels on the amount of compilations that are out there. That is how many, faking disorder people there are on TikTok. It is that bad. But it's weird. It's like a weird cringe throwback to all the Tumblr XD stuff, It's a rough watch. It's like hearing about DashCon again, but like every single clip is one of those people awkwardly screaming into a camera or something. Now, this is all a microcosm of much bigger issues, but I figured I'd bring up TikTok because, I was inspired by another YouTuber and I need to put out something else. Like, on YouTube, it is so hard to discuss current issues about anything to the point where if you want to talk about any current world event or news or issue or something like that, you literally have to be an accredited news site. Otherwise, you're basically just going to be branded by YouTube and put in a little sandbox where you can play with all the other conspiracy theorists that like to wear tinfoil hats. It's just insane that YouTube is so incredibly strict, and then TikTok is just the effing Wild West. Well, it's the Wild West for discourse as long as you love Genshin Impact, don't call Taiwan a country. Never acknowledged, minority persecution in China. Don't mention Tiananmen Square and free Hong Kong. You mean very East China, right? Why would they ever want to be free from the glory of the state of China? Am I right, guys? Listen, I know I'm really preaching to the choir here. I was way back on the hating TikTok train before I eventually caved and decided that, hey, this thing's staying around. It's not a fad like Vine. So, there we are. It's a rough and weird situation, and I don't really think I have an answer for how TikTok's gonna deal with all this false information, really. Or if there should be. I'm really at a crossroad in my personal ideals here, so I don't think I really personally have an answer to give you or a definitive opinion, because the free speech advocate in me would be like, fuck it, just let them all say all the crazy shit. And then the other person in me who's like, oh my god, I can't believe there's like, hey, put razor blades in strawberries to cut up the strawberries. It's like, well, I guess they're gonna die. It's rough. It's hard to choose what side, because I think there's great arguments on both sides for that. So I'm not gonna give an opinion. But I got a TikTok if you want to follow me. I'll post probably more stuff on there eventually. I still don't know really what to post. I have all these stream VODs like locked down, so if you miss a stream, I'll probably post like highlights on TikTok, and maybe I'll do like a VODs channel or something. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Follow me on Twitch. I stream Mondays and Tuesdays, and make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the bell, subscribing, and also, I don't know, slap. There we go. I didn't prepare an outro. Anyway, guys, take care and have a good day.